Committee by a woman who says she had an aggressive, unwanted sexual encounter with Eric Greitens before he was governor. Greitens has long contended that while his relationship with the woman was extramarital, it was also consensual. However, the woman testified Greitens slapped, grabbed, and shoved her during their encounters in 2015. We wanted to explore the issue of consent within physical relationships. Susan Kidder, CEO of Safe Connections, is here in studio now to start this very important conversation. So Susan, what is consent? Does it apply only to a sexual relationship?
Well, first, thanks for bringing the subject forward, and thanks for the invitation to join you. Consent is a clear and enthusiastic yes and agreement between partners for engaging in sexual activity. And this yes must match or align with their body. Their body language must also support and affirm that yes. And it's important to note that this is true in all relationships, inclusive of gender identities and sexual orientations.
So this is not just men and women, this is anyone. Of any gender affiliation at
Absolutely.
all. Okay, that's important
Everyone.
to know. So what isn't consent? Because we're hearing a lot of, in some of this testimony, silence from the female involved. Is that consent if you don't say anything?
No. In a word, no. Silence is not consent. Assumptions, that's not consent either. It's not consent if there is intimidation, if there's a fear factor there. It's not consent if the individual is not able to verbally express that because they're incapacitated because of drugs or alcohol. And it's not consent if someone is coerced into offering that.
So this idea, if I just do this, that person will go away, is not consent.
That's not consent.
How often do we have to give consent within the context of a single sexual encounter?
Well, that consent can be withdrawn or revoked at any time. So it's really important that in that experience that there are check-ins. Is this okay? And if it's not okay, that the partner needs to be willing to or able to say no.
And the other side has to be able to hear no.
Absolutely. So not acknowledging no is not acceptable, and it's wrong.
Okay, so often in these verbiage surrounding these interactions, we hear things like, why did she do that? You tell me that we should frame the question a different way. Why did he do that? So you say this opens up a conversation about healthy masculinity. What is that?
Right, and just healthy relationships. So often women are made to be the accountable one. Why did she wear that? Why did she go there? Why did she do this? Why did she stay? Why did she go back? And really we need to turn the focus to the other person, the person who's being the abusive individual, the person who's being who's assaulting, and say,
or the person in power in the
person in power. Absolutely correct. And ask the question there: why don't they stop being abusive? Why don't they stop their assaulting behavior? Why don't they stop their intimidating, manipulative kind of behavior? So really, it's time for the survivor to be totally believed and totally supported and not blamed for being in that situation.
And it's time for the person in power to perhaps be educated about this entire issue, correct?
No question about it. You are correct.
Right.
We agree.
Susan Kidder, CEO of Safe Connections, thank you so much. We're going to have you back and continue this very important conversation. Here is the Safe Connections website and also the crisis helpline, 314-531-2003. Please reach out if you need help.